pothole, you don't complain. Most people complain about potholes. Entrepreneur says, this pothole, I get an opportunity to fill. What technology can I create and so on and so forth. So the answers we're looking for are from that point of view. So now we've got an entrepreneur here, Jitendra. Jitendra, please introduce yourself.
Just to give my quick intro, I'm founder of CitrusPay. CitrusPay is an online payments company. I started it in 2011. Before that, I was working with ICICI Bank. I worked there for around 7 years. Very frankly, I got bored when I quit the bank, and I took a break for a year to figure out what next for me. And within this break, I sort of figured out that the only thing which I know better among all the things was payments, because my last assignment in the bank was in payments. And I realized that there were so many issues when merchants were interacting with bank in terms of their expectation, in terms of how bank was treating them. Bank was sort of behaving very high-handed in terms of that, oh, I am ICICI Bank and why should I sort of listen to this small merchant? So I think there are so many gaps which sort of I identified and started Citrus to bridge that gap by leveraging software and user experience. And this is where CitrusPay came into existence in 2011. Recently we had an event as well in the company. It was a liquidity event which in September 2016 I sold the company to Naspers and they had an entity called PayU India, who was our biggest competitor. I understand from them is the reason they acquired us because both the businesses were only businesses which were sort of going to merchants and providing a similar kind of offering, and I would say they were giving me tough time and they were saying I was giving them tough time. So why not come together? So that's the reason. So now I'm part of PayU India. So I'm managing director in PayU India. So I run both the combined entities along with my partner Shah.
So what he didn't tell you is that he sold a company for $150 million. Okay. Okay. Now, in the budget, they're saying people are complaining that they just put 10,000 crores to recapitalize banks. That's neither here nor there. You know, as an entrepreneur, you probably think that's a good opportunity, you know, for something to be done. This means NBFCs will have a better chance of playing. Banks will get there. Can you just give us an idea what kind of opportunities might come out? Because here we're not trying to see what does the budget say. If the budget is doing something, where's the opportunity?
Sure. So one is that what you just mentioned in terms of the banks will be capitalized to the extent of X amount. But I saw another provision which I think sort of getting ignored, where it says the SIDBI will provide the refinancing capital to NBFCs, where the NBFCs are lending based on the transaction history of the borrowers. Now that's a new thing if you ask me, because the lending is never done based on transaction history. Lending is almost every time done based on the income levels, based on how are your books looking like. So clearly, if you look at credit as an opportunity in the country, today when I see in a consumer segment, there are like 19 million credit card holders, and unique ones if you count, I think it will be 12 or 13 million. That means the access to credit card or the access to formal credit is very, very limited. 1.2 billion population, 600 million people have debit cards. Why the access of credit cards should be restricted to 12 or 13 million people? I think that itself is a big opportunity. Now, how do you get into this segment? How do you sort of leverage this opportunity? Is what the crux or your business plan is all about. So that's what I would say. And the other thing, the government itself is saying that once you have the plan to lend innovatively, we are there to give you capital through SIDBI or through banks. When they get recapitalized, they got to deploy the capital somewhere. Now, if banks were smart enough to deploy the capital on their own by lending, probably the NBFCs would not have existed. So in my view, what's going to happen is all the innovative NBFCs are going to get capitalized from the banks indirectly or directly. So that's another big the capital availability which has suddenly come into the picture.
So this bad news, if you read only 10,000 crores, is actually good news for you. So in this manner, if you look at the budget, you see huge number of opportunities. if you read the Economic Times and this Mint and so on, so people are talking as if they're talking about two different budgets, and neither of them is relevant. And what is relevant is things like this. Okay, yes, banks are getting curtailed, and there's an opportunity for me. So think of what you can do because banks are getting only 10,000 crores. Now, Anand, you're a very astute person. So, unlike these people who are just making vague comments, 5 on 10 for this budget and 10 on 10 and all that, tell me what are the hidden opportunities you saw, which most people have missed. Like if you read the fine print, you see, or if you see the misses, like this was a miss and it's actually a great thing for us. What's the hits which are not missed?
So I was
From
first
the entrepreneur's point of view.
Yeah.
General people, they are not concerned.
So I was first telling you that Raj asked me this question in the morning, and I had no idea what the answer was. And he warned me that I'm going to ask you, so please prepare an answer and come. So I pulled out the budget and carried it here as well. And I think what's interesting is that most consultants and most of the flyers that go out and the analysis that goes out is on taxation. And the rate of tax and the benefit and etc. I realized when I went through this for the first time in my life, and I'm also 25 as per Raj's analysis, there's a whole first part of the budget which talks about what the government is going to do. And I found that fascinating. So we do work, I'm a lawyer, we do work for example, the railways. And I believe the statistics are that till 1947 we had some 50,000 something kilometers. And we just added 12 on top of that. So it's, on the ratio perspective, not much. But currently the government is going to add a lot of railway lines, stations, roads, etc., etc. And the whole list is in the budget. And I was reading this, thanks to Raj, so I learned something today, that each aspect of government spending, whether it's low-cost housing, a house will need basins, bathrooms, kitchens, etc. Stations are going to need, shops, outlets, etc. So somebody starts thinking that all this is actually going to come out, and it's going to need a lot of inputs to put in. There's skilling, education, a whole bunch of things. And really got me thinking that while as a lawyer, I wish I could do much more, and I hope I will one day. But for entrepreneurs, it's really a golden opportunity to see where government is going to be putting focus. So the rural employment guarantee scheme, I was told yesterday by somebody, all they did all these years was they dug holes and then they filled up those same holes and they got paid for it because they didn't quite know what else to do. Now the government has said make 5 lakh ponds and then 10 lakh ponds and conserve water. So again, digging ponds is not something you do with your hands. There are implements, there's machinery, so it's also an opportunity. So I think if you actually look at it carefully, there's paragraph after paragraph after paragraph that talks about what government wants to do. And I'm sure they'll need the help of good entrepreneurs, businessmen to achieve this.
That's great. So the message he's giving you is please don't read all this newspaper headlines and even the articles. Read the budget and there are lots of opportunities waiting for you. Like in the railway station, they're going to redesign and modernize the architects, there will be building materials, there will be design effects, there will be retail outlets, there are all kinds of things. Now, if you just sit back and say, let me read the budget and then go back to my work, you're going to miss the opportunity. So he's just giving you a high level view. Like your real entrepreneurs are going to take the next step and read and figure out where is my big opportunity coming. Okay. Now,
so Raj, I just want to add, first time I saw the Deloitte presentation which had mentioned that about the GST and the GST Suvidha providers, something like the term like that. And then I was Googling it very frankly, I never bothered to pay attention so far. And what I realized is, with this whole thing getting electronified, you will suddenly see a lot of opportunity on that side as well. Suddenly, the small businesses will need systems to generate bills, the tally kind of systems, accounting software. And since my mind right now is working more on the lending front, I'm like, suddenly you have so much of data to assess whether that guy is credible guy or not. So which data I don't think I ever considered that data could be available.
see the thinking that evolves in the opportunities that come in. I was going to ask Nishith about the same thing. Nishith, can you just pass the mic? So,
Sure.
Nishith, please introduce yourself. I know you're very famous, but then a little introduction and then I'll ask you the question.
Oh, okay. My name is Nishith Desai. I happen to be international tax lawyer. So I'm a lawyer. I'm not a brilliant accountant. So I don't know about numbers. I'm more philosopher. And of course, we have a law firm called Nishith Desai Associate, and we have offices in Palo Alto, New York, Munich, Singapore, and some other parts of the world. And we do a lot of work with startup. And it's very exciting, including mentoring and stuff like that. I'm personally involved with many of them here in Silicon Valley, etc. So that little short introduction, but the most important introduction, I think, Jitendra is an entrepreneur. He described me as an entrepreneur. The only difference is embarrassingly rich entrepreneur, and I'm a small entrepreneur. But taking view from what Anand mentioned about what are the opportunities, I think one guaranteed opportunity government creates year on year basis for the lawyers. So every time you read a budget, you see there's an opportunity. So I think that's one guarantee. That is what is, unless you mess up yourself, there is no loss. And so we have nothing to carry forward. Anyway.
So I was going to ask you, taking off from what Jitendra said, that the GST itself is an opportunity, not just for making the country transparent. Oh, that's fine. But from an entrepreneur's point of view, there's a problem. And therefore, there's an opportunity. The problem is, as you see it, is if it's supposed to be a tax at the point of consumption, that suppose you sell something and it's consumed in Calcutta, then there's a tax. I'm not an expert at business consumption. Okay. Now, there are a lot of products which are bought online. So you might just sell from here or wherever, and it's bought all over the place. So does it mean that all 29 states you have to register? There's a lot of paperwork, a nightmare. And each time somebody starts buying, you have to worry about all the paperwork for that.
Well, I think in the form of e-paper, obviously there will be quite a bit of work. It will have to be all simplified as we go along. But still, in effect, it has to be implemented. So implementation issues. And one of the things I constantly found is that at a macro level, government does a great job. If I have to describe this budget, I would say directionally it is a great budget, very good. But roadmap is circular and unending. So it does not take it to the larger.
It's good for us as entrepreneurs, there is nothing you can do. Like for instance, if there is so much of registration depending on this state, that state, somebody can come up with a nice product which can have an API connected to whatever IT system you have, which will, the moment somebody buys somewhere, it checks whether you have registration in that state, it does immediate registration.
But it shouldn't kill the entrepreneurship.
He alluded to it, Prashant, that there can be a product which can be there.
I talked about the GSPs,
Yeah.
but there is a very important, intermediary which is going to be called an ASP.
Yes.
And ASP is not limited to those 34 GSPs. The 34 GSPs have to be the big ones because they have a lot of infrastructure that they have to put up. But the ASPs are the ones who are going to be, there's a big opportunity for ASPs. And they are going to be, I guess the APIs which the GSTN is going to share with the GSPs will also be shared with the ASPs. And if you are into this space, then there is a huge opportunity for being a very good ASP. And I think how many number of taxpayers you said 60 lakhs? I think there are more than 60 lakhs taxpayers. Because right from anybody, if you really declare an income over 25 lakhs is not a threshold at all. Even a pan kirana shop will be exceeding 25 lakhs if it declares all this turnover. So, huge number of new taxpayers are going to come into the system. As the cash transactions go down, all of these paper transactions will come up. There will be huge opportunity for, how many app providers are there on Google Store or Apple Store and Google Play, whatever. That many number of ASPs, you can expect, and this is a huge opportunity.
So look at the GST as an opportunity for you to build products and actually create great businesses.
So one more thing I would like to add to your thing is the MSMEs who are not registered or who are not registered, they will be registered with the GST because they will be claiming the refunds for the GST which they are being charged for by the suppliers. Something like that may happen. Is it possible?
Ideally, if you are paying your supplier for GST, then you ought to be adding value and supplying to the next level of, whatever your customers. So there is no refund which has been actually envisaged by the government, except in exports, and where they find that the rate of tax on input is going to be higher than the rate of tax on output. Those are only two situations of refund which have been envisaged in the law. So forget refund, but I am saying that even the matching, even the filings that have to be done electronically, and the way I look at indirect tax and over the years, 30 years, is in future there is not going to be anybody who is going to file return. You are going to upload invoices, there is going to be online matching, there is going to be a service provider who will do reconciliations for online matching. You won't have to file returns in future. Because today our laws are such that they are not technology enabled laws. We create laws to plug loopholes. But if the laws become technology, sorry, I'm very sorry, I should have done this.
So that would, can we just move to Nishith again?
So, if we do, and our laws will become technology enabled laws, so every provision capable of being, coded into some rule set and being able to, electronically or automatically capable of being either interpreted or applied. Once that happens, then there is going to be huge opportunity for the entrepreneurs in this space. No filing of return, because you cannot imagine a crore of people, 100 million people will filing returns, and what will they do with the returns, all of these returns which are filed? Today also we are into self-assessment regime. Why? Because the government cannot do desk assessments. That's why, VAT there is a self-assessment, and or of course there is business audits and stuff like that. But why are we into self-assessment? Because of this impracticability of doing a desk assessment. And there is no need to do all these assessments and returns and everything. If you are having a technology-enabled law, which are capable of being defined into a rule set, define it and then upload your transactions, that's all you have to do. I don't think there will be returns in future. My generation will be the last generation will file returns.
Yeah. Nishith?
Yeah.
Since we are on law, there's section 56 was referred to earlier, and I know you're an expert in that, you've done a lot of work on that. Can you just tell them what is this section 56, what are the real problems that are being faced, and what are you doing at DAI and NASCOP and so on to
Yeah. I think there are a couple of things we need to understand. If I will just make some general statement to start with. So what has happened and the new trend I have seen recently is there are multiple levies or multiple kind of taxes that come up, and they are not offsettable against one against the other. So we didn't go into the equalization levy, which we'll talk separately. That's what I'm saying. We'll come to that.
we talk about 56.
Now, under section 56, also similar situation arises. For example, one of the rules, and I'll make it more simple than technical, is that if you have a startup and if you receive a premium in excess of, say, fair market value, that premium could be deemed to be your income. The startup, before it has actually made any profit, it could be deemed to be the income. So the investment that is made could go to the tax, number one. Now, new rule that has come up this time. So one side, the recipient of the income is taxed. On the other side, the payer. Okay. Now, assume for a moment, shares are transferred, and the rule is somewhat as follows. That, let's say, the fair market value of, say, a particular stock is, say, 100. You bought it for 100. Today it is 500. Now you are in a distress, so you sell it for 300. Got it? Now you are still making profit of 200, so you pay tax on that normally. The rule that has been brought in is to say if the fair market value is 500 and you are buying at 300, you will be deemed to have sold it at 500. Got it? So you are not only taxed on what you call that 100 and 300 difference, 200, which is actual profit, but now it will be deemed to be 500. So your so the seller is also taxed in a similar fashion. On the other hand, if you see as far as issuance of shares is concerned, then the company is also taxed. So issue here is that can you really tax this notional profit? One or two people pay some, I do not know, some instances happen, but they have penalized the whole community of investors, making it very complex actually. And that is the genesis of, so on the one hand, you will pay not only tax on the 200 that you really make a profit, but a notional income. And that is why I think somebody is going to explain that, similar rule prevails on the immobile property where, whatever stamp duty is their valuation, you take it into it. But here they've gone to the next level. Now here the situation is getting even worse because the markets can go up and down and other kind of stuff. So, and what is fair market value itself is also going to be still prescribed by the government. Now, from philosophical perspective or from a legal perspective, value and price are different concepts, but they are mixed up in tax law. Price is a function of demand and supply. Value is a matter of opinion. Okay, so same thing. For example, I got BlackBerry. It's outdated, somebody will say, right? But I say it's a vintage. So it's a vintage car is sometimes more, you value it is different than what the price is, right? So there are constant examples of this. I will not go into that. So the whole concept of fair market value, and one is asset base and net assets and stuff like that. But when it gets into the cash flow based method, no, you are anticipating in a startup. Again, that point was previously made. That how do you look at my expectation of cash flow? Maybe, but in an idea-driven company, how would a Google figure out what it's going to be? It's a first-time idea. Uber, how will it do it? So those are situations that we are confronting, and to some extent exceptions are granted for the venture capital funds and other ones, but angel investors who really step in at the early stage, that is where we have been clamoring for the kind of a carve out, and that would be my short explanation.
Sunil, I would ask you a question, and before you answer, you introduce yourself. Okay? Now, many of these people here are smart. They're going to come up with great ideas, and there'll be venture capitalists who will fund them based on future cash flows, and it'll be a good value. But we are seeing also down rounds, like today, Ola valuation is going to be 40% lower. If there's a down round, then they will get hammered on taxes. First of all, they're raising money at lower price. Then they'll say, you raised it this much, now you're giving it at this way, so pay tax on that earlier one. So, what advice would you give to these startups? How to deal with the situation? The second associated question is, apparently, if it's a funder is based outside India, then this will not apply. But an Indian funder will have it. In spite of that, I know personally startups who are being harassed by income tax department saying that, look, we're going to charge you. Give us no answer why we should. This is venture capital is based on Mauritius, etc., not Indian. Sorry, I don't want to hear all that. We're going to tax you. So these are two questions. One is the first one, and one is this. But how do you, we are helpless, we're individuals, small young people. How do we actually deal with it?
Thanks, Raj, for further questions in this opportunity. I am Sunil, Shah. I am tax partner with Deloitte. I do corporate and international tax. And not being very enterprising, I've been in the same place with the same firm for the last 35 years since graduation.
You've been had for 35 years.
Now, before I take up the two questions, just to expand on what Nishith just mentioned, there's a flip side to that also, in fact. In the example Nishith gave, that the cost of my share is 100 rupees and the market value is 500. I do a distressed state and I have to sell for 300. So I'm happy to pay the tax on the first 200 because I made the profit, which is fine. But I'm also taxed, as Nishith rightly mentioned, on the profit of 200 which are not made. So having done that, the tax officer will not stop at that. The tax officer will go to the person who has purchased your share in the distressed sale. He will say under same section 56 that look, you have got a share worth 500. You have paid 300 for it. Please pay tax on the additional 200.
So on 200, we collect tax from both the sides, from person who has not got the money and from a person who has got the share. So that really will be the end of it. So multiple cascading taxation. Now on the question which Raj has mentioned, in fact, it's agitating and concerning people for quite a long time. I think basically the question is one of hindsight. Right? With hindsight, one can say anything. We are facing both types of issues. Then the question which Raj mentioned is that the valuation at the time of the startup, when the new idea is there and the particular situation is there, maybe it's 100. After 5 years, the situation may change. You have demonetization, you have something like that, and the value may be less. Then the tax officers are going back and saying that the 100 which you receive is more than what was justified by your subsequent performance, and therefore you have to pay tax on that under Section 56. So I think basically it's a question of simple common sense. That by hindsight one can say anything, and yet one has to put oneself back in the original position. We have a reverse situation also frequently, where the valuation is done at the time of sale of say 100 and we pay tax on 100, then the company does very well. Now, after 5 years, the profit is double what was anticipated. Then the tax officer will say that you have understood this and you must pay tax on 200. So the point here is, if you can make the profit, please step into my shoes and make the profit myself. Otherwise, you must put yourself in my shoes at the time the transaction was done and not today, because no one is God and no one can predict everything 100%. There is some risk element, there is some uncertainty, and that will factor in. In fact, on this point, representations were made to the government for this budget to consider, but somehow with the several problems and issues, it's not being considered. Maybe we hope that before the Finance Act is passed, it will still be considered. That is one part of it. And the other part, in fact, is one step further. The section very clearly says that this deemed taxation of excess issue price will apply only for a domestic investor. If you get money from a domestic investor, if you get from some Mauritius or whatever, this section will not apply. Now, here what the ITO says is, wait a minute, I'm not applying this section. I just think that this money is wrongly shown as not being your money. Actually, it's your money. It's as simple as that. I think the guy who has paid you money did not have a capacity or the intention to pay. So it's really your money, if you are disguised as his money and therefore going to tax. I think going forward in litigation proceeding, mostly it is being struck down, but it could cause some pain at some point of time before the matter is resolved. It's just some more enthusiastic tax officer who try to do it.
So what you're saying is that this is a fact that if you are a startup and you will be funded by a venture capitalist who is not registered in India, who's bringing money from outside India, then you can stand up to the income tax officer and say, I'm not liable to pay tax. Don't apply this. But most startups don't know this, and therefore they get scared and they get into trouble. The second thing he's trying to tell us is that this is not an opportunity for you, but an opportunity for lawyers and tax advisors. So they're going to make money. Okay? Now, I want to go to
a quick point I would make.
Sure.
You made a very valid point, on this whole complex thing. There are a couple of things that I've seen as a broader trend. This time they have delegated certain powers to junior officers. So there are one or two sections that are going to become relevant. One is the general anti-avoidance. Okay, now they say we have provided some safeguard that it should go to principal commissioner and then to the panel. But the fact is that the tax officer will, in every second case, will have incentive to, because if he does not raise the DAR issue, so after retirement he can be hauled up, like what is happening in IDBI, right? So what will happen once he raises DAR issue, then you now go to commissioner, then you go to the panel, and this time the whole thing gets vitiated, becomes very, very difficult. I think this is something on a broader basis we have to question, that you are giving powers to the low-level officers who, even if they decide in good faith, they could be hauled up. So the thing is, people will be more harassed. Second thing that is happening now more and more, all civil issues are being converted into criminal. So if you see more and more civil laws, everywhere there is a penalty. There is not only penalty, huge penalty, and then there is a jail and all those kind of things. So all civil lawyers have become even criminal lawyers now. And this is what I found a disturbing trend. And I won't go into detail at this point in time, but this is something
Okay,
that.
let's get back to the entrepreneurs.
No, entrepreneurs are more scared because.
Prashant, there's a question to you. Maybe you'll answer it. Partly covered by indirect also. It's about definition. There's this famous French historian, mathematician, Voltaire, who used to say that if you want to converse with me, plus define your terms. So now there are some words like DDT, I should think of it as a pesticide, DDT, MAT, AMT, inverted duty structure. Can you explain these four things to the young audience? Because they're not expected to know what DDT and AMT and MAT. Can you just explain?
DDT is dividend distribution tax, which I asked Sunil to expand upon. MAT is minimum alternate tax again.
Because some of them will feel embarrassed to ask what is that?
Minimum alternate tax, I'll ask Sunil. But inverted duty structure is quite interesting. As I said earlier, that your input tax is greater than your output tax. You are actually, instead of using all of your tax credits, you are holding on to some tax credits. And that's what is called as input
A
tax.
little more with an example.
And that
But
happens.
it's still high level.
Yeah, and that happens because, let's say, you have got four rates of taxes in the GST also now, right? So you have 18% tax on your inputs and 12% tax on your outputs. So instead of using all your input tax credits, you are holding on to input tax credits which you are unable to hold. So one way is that you have to go to government, because that's one of the areas which has been covered in the refund scenario. That if you have an inverted duty structure, inverted tax structure, you can approach the government and get a refund. But people like us can tell you how difficult it is to get a refund from the government. Once you pay something to the government, it stays there. Right? So the idea should not be there. So when we started with conceptualizing GST, and in fact in VAT also, people like me who have 30 years of experience in indirect tax tell you that when excise duties used to be as high as 130% on cosmetics, we used to have a lot of difficulties, and then they brought it down to a single rate of excise duty, went down from 130 to 30, and now today excise duty is 12.5. No disputes on classification. When you have multiple duty structures, then every possibility that an inverted duty could happen. That means your input duties are higher than output duties. That's an inverted duty structure, and that's a phenomenon which is only caused by these multiple duties. If you had one single rate of tax in GST, you would never have this situation. And actually, across the world, there is only one tax that countries levy. Either they exempt, or they put in some kind of a category which is essential goods category, or there is one tax rate. Here we seem to be disordered with multiple tax rate. 28%, 18%, 12%, 5% is good only for tax lawyers.
So before we hand over to the audience, there's one more definition. Is it MSIPs? Like sounds like a soft drink or something. What is it?
That is actually an incentive which is given to the electronic manufacturers of electronic goods, which comes in the form of subsidy for setting up manufacturing in certain electronic items, and is available to any person who sets it up. All that you have to go and get is from the government. You need to get your project registered, and you get those that refund.
So would you like to thank our 6 speakers who done a fantastic job? Thank you.